SpongeBob SquarePants Mysteries, Ooze in the Ocean. Chapter 17. This case had more twists and turns than the long tunnel we just come through. I figured the worm burrowed somewhere important, but I had no idea that somewhere would be the Mermalair? SpongeBob said, amazed. The Mermalair was a large cave that served as Merman and Barnacle Boy's secret headquarters. As Merman and Barnacle Boy's biggest fans, SpongeBob and Patrick had been allowed inside a few times. These days, the two superheroes didn't visit their lair very often. They much preferred the cozy confines of the Shady Shoals rest home. And someone left the lights on, Patrick whispered. Unless, SpongeBob whispered, they're still in here, which I strongly suspect is the case. Maybe it's just Merman and Barnacle Boy, Patrick whispered. Could be, SpongeBob said, but just in case it's not, let's approach with extreme caution and stealth. He switched off his flashlight. They got down and crawled, staying low and close to the side of the tunnel. As they drew near, they could see right into the Mermalair with its cases of costumes, racks of high-tech weapons, and shelves of souvenirs from Merman and Barnacle Boy's past exploits. SpongeBob and Patrick reached the threshold between the tunnel and the Mermalair. Feeling something sticky on his hand, Patrick looked down. He saw more ooze, glowing green. They crawled into the Mermalair, staying behind cabinets and display cases holding scientific equipment. Then they heard a voice that made their hearts race faster. From somewhere inside the Mermalair came a rough, gravelly voice. Where is it? Don't worry, a deeper voice answered. We'll find it. It's here somewhere. The old fool said so. Did you hear that? Patrick whispered, pressing his back up against the case. There's someone in here. SpongeBob nodded. I know, more than one someone, and they don't sound anything like Merman and Barnacle Boy to me. They scurried across the chamber, drawing nearer to the next room, where the voices seemed to have come from. A third voice rasped, What are you two doing? Standing around yakking? Am I the only one searching here? A fourth voice joined the argument. Oh, quit your belly aching. I'm still on the hunt. This was answered by a low, guttural growl, as though an animal had joined the conversation. I can't see who's talking, Patrick whispered. Me neither, SpongeBob whispered. But we can't risk being seen ourselves. He looked around the room where they were in, trying to see if there was a hidden path they could follow that would get them closer to the next room where the unseen individuals were talking. And he spotted something hanging on a pegboard full of high-tech equipment. The Mermascope, he hissed. We can use it to spy on them without being seen. If I could just reach it. Staying low, SpongeBob slid across the floor to the base of the pegboard. Toward the top of the board hung a long rectangular periscope. Keeping behind the pegboard to avoid being seen, SpongeBob reached as high as he could and slipped his hand around to the front of the display. The Mermascope was a couple feet beyond his reach, even when he stood on his tiptoes. He snuck back to Patrick and whispered, I can't reach it! No problem, Patrick whispered. I'll give you a boost. They crept over to the pegboard together. Patrick got down on his hands and knees. SpongeBob climbed onto his back and stretched his arm until he touched the Mermascope. Got it! He whispered triumphantly. All right, Patrick whispered. SpongeBob gently lifted the scope off its hook, but as he lowered it, the top of the Mermascope bumped another gadget, the super advanced electronic earwax remover off its peg. No! SpongeBob whispered. Catch it! Patrick flailed wildly, trying to catch the falling device, but all he succeeded in doing was bucking SpongeBob off his back. His partner tumbled to the ground and a super advanced earwax remover clattered across the floor. It switched on, making a loud wax-sucking sound. From the next room, an angry voice roared, "Oh, intruders!" Stay tuned for Chapter 18 coming up soon.